The phone rang just as I was finishing my tea. Hello. My voice trembled a little. It always did when unknown numbers flashed on the screen. Is this Mrs. Morgan? A man asked. His tone was polite, but there was weight behind it. Yes, this is she. My name is Patel. I own Crown Jewel Pawn. I need to confirm something with you. A Rolex gold men's classic face was sold here last week. The seller claimed it belonged to her husband, but the paperwork traced back to your name. I thought you should know. The air in my chest collapsed. Wait, a Rolex? Gold. Yes, ma'am. Engraving on the back. To James, forever mine. Does that sound familiar? I gripped the phone tighter. That was my husband's watch. He gave it to me before he passed. I'm sorry to bring up painful memories, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong. Do you know anyone who might have sold it? I swallowed, my throat dry. No strangers could have touched it. It was in my jewelry box. Only family comes into my house. There was a pause. Then he said softly, then it must have been someone close to you. I'm sorry. I pressed a hand over my eyes. Did you see the person? Yes. Young woman. Early 30s. Confident. Wore designer clothes. She didn't hesitate. My stomach turned. Designer clothes. Confident. That narrowed it to one person. Clara. My daughter-in-law. Mr. Patel, I whispered, can you tell me exactly what she said? She said her husband gave it to her, but she needed quick cash for a family emergency. She laughed when I offered less than market price. Said she'd rather take a vacation with the money than let it sit on her wrist. The room spun around me. Vacation. Yes, ma'am. His voice hardened. It wasn't hard to see she wasn't desperate. She was greedy. I bit my lip until it bled. Thank you for telling me. Most people wouldn't bother. My conscience wouldn't let me stay silent, he said. I'll hold the watch a few more days before reselling it if you want to reclaim it. I whispered, I'll come tomorrow. After I hung up, I sat in silence. The ticking clock mocked me. James's watch, his last gift, reduced to vacation money. The door creaked. Emily, my daughter, peeked in. Mom? Who was that? I forced my face straight. Just a business call. She frowned. You're pale. What's wrong? Nothing, sweetheart. I'm fine. But my hands shook. She stepped closer. Mom, you're lying. What happened? I swallowed hard. Emily, if something precious was stolen and you knew only family had access, what would you think? Her eyes narrowed. Daniel. My chest tightened. Not him directly. Her jaw clenched. Clara. I didn't answer. I didn't have to. Emily's voice rose. I knew it. I saw her near your room last month when you were in the garden. She said she was looking for aspirin, but she was rifling through drawers. I didn't want to accuse her without proof. I whispered, and now we have proof. Emily paced. How could she? Dad's watch. That's sacred. I pressed my temples. Calm down. Don't let anger blind you. We need to be careful. Emily stopped pacing. Careful? She sold Dad's memory for a vacation. We should confront her now. Not yet, I said firmly. If we explode, she'll twist the story. Daniel will defend her. We'll lose him. Emily muttered. We've already lost him to her greed. I sighed. Maybe. But I won't lose my dignity in a shouting match. Emily sat down beside me, gripping my hand. So what do? We wait, I said quietly. We watch. And when the truth can't be denied, then we strike. Emily's eyes softened. You sound like Dad. He always said time reveals everything. I blinked back tears. He left me that watch to remind me of time. And now even that's been stolen. The silence between us was heavy. Finally, Emily whispered, Mom, what if Daniel knew? The thought pierced me. Don't say that. But what if Clara convinced him? What if he was part of it? I shook my head violently. No. My son wouldn't. He's weak sometimes, but he wouldn't betray me like that. Emily didn't look convinced. I stood slowly, my legs trembling. For now, we keep this between us. Promise me. Emily hesitated, then nodded. I promise. I forced a small smile. Good. Tomorrow I'll reclaim the watch. After that, we'll see. He squeezed my hand. We'll get through this, Mom. I looked toward James's empty chair. My voice cracked as I whispered to myself, I hope so. I set the table with shaking hands. Dinner had always been sacred in this house. Tonight it felt like a stage for a play I no longer trusted. The bell rang. Clara's laughter echoed first, high and polished. Daniel trailed behind, carrying wine. Emily arrived last, quiet, her eyes darting to mine. Mom, Clara said, kissing my cheek, her perfume sharp. I hope you're hungry. I've been starving all day. I forced a smile. Always hungry when it's free, She laughed as if I'd told a joke. You know me too well. Daniel placed the wine on the counter. It's good to all be together. Emily muttered, yeah, like old times. We sat. Forks clinked, glasses filled. For a while, only polite chewing filled the silence. Then Clara leaned back, flashing her new handbag like it was an accident. Do you like it, Mom? She asked. I eyed the glossy leather. It looks expensive. Her smile widened. Oh, it's just a little something I picked up. A girl deserves a treat once in a while, right? Emily nearly choked on her food. Some treat. That bag costs more than my rent. Claire shrugged. Money is meant to be enjoyed. Daniel agrees, don't you, honey? Daniel shifted uncomfortably. I just want everyone happy. I studied him. And are you happy, Daniel? He avoided my eyes. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? Emily's fork hit her plate. Because happiness built on lies doesn't last. Emily, I warned, my voice sharp. Clara's lips curled. What's that supposed to mean? Emily crossed her arms. It means flaunting luxury while pretending it's hard-earned is insulting. Daniel raised his voice. That's enough. Not everything is an attack on you, Clara. Clara touched his arm sweetly. Don't defend me, darling. I can handle jealousy. Emily shot up. Jealous? Of you? Please. Sit down, I said firmly. Both of you. Emily sank back into her chair, muttering. Clara smirked as though she'd won. I took a sip of water, steadying my nerves. Clara, you mentioned treating yourself. What's the occasion? Her eyes sparkled. Oh, just life. We work hard. We deserve to enjoy it. Daniel's been so generous lately. Haven't you, love? Daniel forced a smile, but it was brittle. I leaned in. Generosity is a fine thing. But sometimes generosity comes at a cost. Don't you think, Clara? Her eyes flickered just for a second. Then she laughed. Oh, Mother, you sound like one of those financial advisors. Always worrying. Don't stress, we're fine. Emily's voice dripped with sarcasm. Fine until the bills come. Emily. Daniel snapped. She slammed her glass down. Don't raise your voice at me because you can't admit the truth. The table fell silent. My heart pounded. I could almost hear James whispering, watch their eyes, not their words. I forced calm into my voice. Emily, please. Tonight is about family. Not arguments. Clara leaned forward, her smile too sweet. Exactly. Family should support each other, not tear each other down. Emily muttered, family doesn't steal from family either. Daniel's face darkened. What does that mean? Emily froze, biting her lip. She looked at me, waiting for permission. I shook my head subtly. Not yet. Clara tilted her head. Yes, Emily. What does it mean? Emily forced a smile. Nothing. Just speaking generally. Daniel exhaled loudly. You're always looking for a fight. Why can't you just enjoy one nice evening? Emily pushed her plate away. Because some people here make it impossible. Clara rolled her eyes. Always so dramatic. I finally set my fork down. Enough. I won't have this dinner turned into a circus. We'll eat in peace or we won't eat together at all. The room stilled. For a brief moment, silence returned. Then Clara clapped her hands lightly. Let's change the subject. Guess what, everyone? Daniel's taking me to the Bahamas next month. Emily's jaw dropped. Another vacation? Clara beamed. Why not? Life is short. We deserve some joy. I clenched my hands under the table. And how do you afford such joy? Clara's smile faltered. Excuse me. I leaned forward. Vacations. Designer bags. Luxury. They cost more than generosity alone. Daniel cut in, his voice harsh. Mom, please. Don't interrogate her. Clara's face brightened again. Yes, don't worry. Daniel handles everything. I just enjoy the blessings. Emily muttered, blessings bought with blood money. Emily. Daniel snapped again. She shot back, stop defending her. Open your eyes. I slammed my palm on the table. Enough. My voice cracked through the room. Everyone froze. This dinner is not for shouting. It's for remembering who we are. Family. Do you understand me? Clara's smile returned, though thinner now. Of course, Mother. You're right. Let's not ruin a lovely evening. Emily whispered, too late. We finished the meal in strained silence. The clinking of forks was louder than words. Clara hummed softly, smug and satisfied. Daniel forced small talk, desperate to cover cracks. Emily stared at her plate, fists tight. I watched them all, my chest heavy. Smiles painted on faces, secrets twisting beneath. My family was no longer mine. It was theirs. When the dishes were cleared, Clara kissed my cheek again. Thank you for dinner, Mother. It was perfect. I smiled thinly. Perfect indeed. Daniel hugged me briefly. We'll see you soon, Mom. Emily lingered. Mom, are you okay? I nodded, though my voice shook. Yes. Go on, darling. I'll be fine. When the door closed, I sank into James's chair. The silence swallowed me. The Rolex's absence pulsed in my mind like a wound. Family of smiles, I whispered, but built on secrets. I couldn't sleep after dinner. The pawn shop receipt burned in my pocket like fire. By morning, I decided to confront Daniel first. I found him in the garage, fiddling with tools. Daniel, I said softly. He jumped. Mom, morning. You scared me. I stepped closer. I need to ask you something. Be honest. He wiped his hands nervously. Of course. What's wrong? I held out the folded paper. This is from Crown Jewel Pawn. Your father's Rolex was sold there last week. His face paled. What? That's impossible. It's in your jewelry box, right? No, my voice cracked. It's gone. And the owner confirmed it was sold. By someone close to me. He stammered. Mom, I swear I don't know anything about this. I searched his eyes. You didn't sell it? Never. His voice shook. I would never touch Dad's things. You believe me, right? I hesitated. Then who did? Daniel looked down, silent. Daniel, I pressed. If you know something, tell me. Don't protect anyone. He shook his head. I don't. Honestly, Mom. I don't. Before I could push further, Emily appeared at the doorway. He's lying by omission. Daniel spun around. What are you talking about? Emily stepped forward, her arms crossed. I saw Clara in Mom's room weeks ago. She said she needed aspirin, but she was digging in drawers. I didn't say anything because I had no proof. Now we do. Daniel's face flushed. Don't accuse her. You hate her and you'll blame her for anything. Emily's voice rose. Open your eyes, Daniel. Who else flaunts new designer bags and vacations? Who else has the nerve? Enough. Daniel shouted. Clara wouldn't do that. I raised my hand. Stop. Both of you. Shouting won't solve this. Emily turned to me. Mom, tell him what Mr. Patel said. Daniel's jaw clenched. Who's Patel? The pawn shop owner, I said quietly. He described the woman. Early 30s, designer clothes, confident. He said she laughed about using the money for vacation. Daniel's lips trembled. That doesn't mean it was Clara. Emily scoffed. Oh please. Who else fits that description? Daniel's eyes filled with panic. Mom, don't believe her. Clara wouldn't. Daniel. My voice cut sharp. The engraving was on the back. To James, forever mine. No stranger could explain that. Only family. His shoulders slumped. He whispered, Oh God. Emily's tone softened, almost pitying. You know it's true, don't you? He rubbed his face, refusing to answer. I stepped closer. Did Clara tell you anything? Did she confess? No, he snapped. Then softer. She said she found some old things she didn't think mattered. She never mentioned the Rolex. I didn't ask. Emily gasped. You didn't ask? How could you not? Daniel's voice broke. Because I wanted to believe her. Because if I questioned her, it meant I doubted my own wife. I whispered, and what about doubting your father? His memory. His last gift to me. He looked crushed. Mom, I didn't know. Emily scoffed again. You chose not to know. Daniel turned to her, anger flaring. Don't lecture me. You've always wanted me to divorce her. Emily fired back. Because she's a parasite. Enough. I shouted louder than before. Both froze. My voice shook but stayed firm. This is not about jealousy or marriage or petty fights. This is about betrayal. Clara sold something sacred. And you both need to face that truth. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. If it's true, what do you want me to do? I closed my eyes, breathing deep. Nothing. Not yet. Emily frowned. Mom. No, I cut her off. If we attack now, she'll twist it. She'll play the victim. Daniel will defend her. We'll lose everything. Emily clenched her fists. So we just stay silent? For now. My voice was steel. We gather proof. We wait. And when the truth is undeniable, then we act. Daniel whispered, You sound cold. I met his eyes. Grief makes you cold. Betrayal freezes you. But clarity, that's what keeps you alive. Emily nodded. I'll help you, Mom. I'll watch her every move. Daniel buried his face in his hands. God, what have I done? I turned away, my chest aching. You've let her into our family. That's what you've done. The silence that followed was worse than shouting. Finally, Emily spoke softly. Mom, what now? I pulled the pawn receipt from my pocket and stared at it. Now, I said, we wait for Clara's mask to crack. And when it does, we'll be ready. I sat on my bed scrolling through Clara's social media. Her smiling face lit up beaches, candlelit dinners, expensive cocktails. Every post felt like a slap. Emily knocked on my door. Mom, you're still looking at her page? I didn't look up. Look at this. Posing on a yacht. Do you see the champagne? That's our betrayal in a glass. Emily sat beside me. She's flaunting it. Like she wants you to see. I whispered, she stole your father's watch and this is what she bought with it. Emily clenched her fists. We should confront her now. Tag her, expose her. No, I said firmly. Public anger only feeds her. She'll spin it, call us bitter. No, we wait. Emily sighed. You always say wait. How long do we wait? Until her greed shows itself. Until Daniel can't deny it anymore. Emily muttered. He'll defend her no matter what. I turned to her sharply. Don't underestimate truth. It has a way of breaking even the strongest illusions. The doorbell rang. I froze. Emily frowned. Were you expecting someone? No, I stood slowly, heart pounding. When I opened the door, Clara stood there, glowing with tan skin and shopping bags. Mother, she cried, kissing the air near my cheek. We just got back. I had to come show you. Emily crossed her arms. Of course you did. Clara lifted a dress from the bag. Isn't it stunning? Italian silk. Daniel insisted I buy it. I forced a smile. Beautiful. And expensive. She laughed. Oh, money comes and goes. Memories are priceless. Emily's voice dripped acid. You'd know all about selling memories, wouldn't you? Clara's eyes flickered. What's that supposed to mean? I cut in quickly. Emily's tired. Don't mind her. Clara smirked. Always so fiery. Anyway, I just wanted you to see these. We had the most amazing time. Daniel's such a provider. I'm lucky. Emily spat. You're lucky he's blind. Emily. I snapped. Clara arched a brow. Blind? Hardly. He sees how happy I make him. Emily laughed bitterly. Happy? He looks exhausted every time he's around you. Clara's smile sharpened. Jealousy doesn't suit you, Emily. Emily shot back. Neither does theft. Clara stiffened, then forced a laugh. Theft? Please. What would I ever steal? Emily's voice rose. Dad's Rolex. My heart jumped. Emily. But it was too late. The words hung in the air like thunder. Clara blinked, then burst into laughter. Oh my God. That's what this is about. You think I stole some old man's watch? Emily's face burned red. Don't you dare call him that. Clara rolled her eyes. Relax. Honestly, who cares about a dusty old thing? If it's so precious, maybe you misplaced it. I whispered. It was engraved. His name. His love. Don't you dare belittle it. Her gaze met mine. For the first time I saw a flicker of unease. Then she smoothed her smile. If it meant that much, maybe you should have locked it up. Not my problem. Emily lunged forward. You witch. I grabbed her arm. Stop. My voice trembled. Not like this. Clara tilted her head, victorious. See? Even your mother knows better. I breathed deeply, forcing calm. Clara, thank you for showing us your treasures. But I'm tired. You should go. Her smile returned, polished and smug. Of course. Rest well, mother. She swept out, leaving perfume and poison in her wake. Emily exploded the moment the door shut. Why did you stop me? I could have ripped that smug face off. I sank into a chair. Because anger makes her stronger. Did you see her? She wanted you to lose control. She thrives on it. Emily paced. Then what? We just sit here while she spits on Dad's memory. I whispered. No. We wait for her to hang herself with her own rope. Emily groaned. You sound like some patient saint. I don't have your control. I looked at her, my voice steady. It's not control. It's survival. Your father taught me never fight on their terms. Fight when they least expect it. She softened, sitting beside me. I just hate her so much. I placed my hand over hers. So do I. But hatred won't win. Truth will. Emily's eyes glistened. Do you really believe that? I stared at the empty shelf where the Rolex once lay. I have to. I set the table again, my hand steady this time. Tonight wasn't just dinner, it was a test. Clara's parents were coming. I wanted to see how far the lies reached. The doorbell rang. Clara swept in first, draped in another new dress. Daniel followed, silent. Her parents came last, her mother in pearls, her father in a flashy suit. Mother Morgan, her father boomed. What an honor. Clara says you host the finest dinners. I forced a smile. You're kind. Please sit. Clara's mother eyed the table. Such care. You're a true homemaker. Emily muttered, unlike some people. Clara's smile didn't waver. Shall we eat? We sat. Food passed. Wine poured. Conversation flowed easily at first. Clara's father chuckled. Clara tells us Daniel is providing beautifully. Vacations, handbags, fine living. We're proud. Clara beamed. Yes, Daniel takes care of everything. He insists. Daniel's fork froze halfway. I just do my best. Emily leaned forward. And how exactly do you afford it all, Daniel? His face tightened. Work. Savings. It's fine. Emily pressed. Funny. Mom never sees proof of that. Clara's mother gasped. Such an impertinent question. Clara touched her hand. Don't worry, mother. Emily doesn't understand responsibility. Emily snapped. Responsibility? Selling watches for cocktails is responsibility. Daniel slammed his glass down. Enough, Emily. The table went silent. Clara's father frowned. What's this about selling? Clara laughed too loudly. Oh, just nonsense. Emily likes to invent drama. Emily turned to me. Mom, say something. I kept my voice calm. We were discussing the difference between luxury and necessity. That's all. Clara smirked, relieved. Exactly. Luxury is a reward for hard work. Emily muttered, or betrayal. Emily, I warned. She threw her napkin down. Why are we protecting her? Daniel growled, because she's my wife. Clara's mother patted his arm. Good boy. Stand by her. Clara leaned closer to Daniel, eyes gleaming. See? Even your family doubts me, but you don't. He looked torn. I don't. Emily laughed bitterly. Of course you don't. She owns you. Emily. Daniel shouted. I raised my hand. Enough. My tone was sharp. We will not scream across this table like children. The room froze. I turned to Clara's parents. Tell me, do you believe money defines worth? Her father chuckled. Of course. Success is measured in what you can show. Her mother nodded. Yes. What else is there? Emily whispered. Love. Integrity. Memory. Clara smirked. Those don't pay the bills, do they? I met her eyes. No. But they're what you're left with when money is gone. For the first time Clara flinched. Her father cleared his throat. Perhaps we should lighten the mood. Daniel muttered. Yes. Please. But Emily pressed on. You're blind, Daniel. She's draining you. She already. I slammed my palm on the table. Emily. Stop. She froze, shaking with rage. Clara's mother sniffed. Unstable girl. Emily glared. At least I'm not a thief. Clara gasped dramatically. How dare you? Mother, she called me a thief. Her parents looked horrified. Daniel shot to his feet. Apologize, Emily. Emily stood too. Never. Sit down, he barked. She turned to me, eyes pleading. Mom, please. Tell them what she did. End this charade. The room held its breath. All eyes turned to me. My throat ached. I wanted to scream. Instead, I said quietly, tonight is not the night. Emily's face fell. So we just let her win? Clara smirked, victorious. Yes, Emily. That's exactly what happens when you accuse without proof. Her father wagged a finger. Respect your elders, girl. Clara is a jewel. Emily stormed away from the table, slamming the door. Daniel buried his face in his hands. God, why can't we have one peaceful night? Clara stroked his shoulder. Because jealousy poisons everything, darling. Don't worry. We're stronger than their bitterness. Her parents nodded in agreement. I sat still, forcing my face blank. Inside my heart was fire. James's voice echoed in my mind. Watch their eyes, not their words. And tonight I had seen enough. I couldn't sleep after that dinner. Emily's cries still echoed in my ears. Clara had played her part perfectly, but the mask had slipped for a moment. I saw it. I needed proof. Without it, Daniel would stay blind and Emily would keep suffering. The next morning, Emily found me in the kitchen. Her eyes were swollen. Why didn't you speak up last night? She whispered. Because words without evidence are wasted, I said. Her fists clenched. She's destroying him, Mom. We can't just wait. I touched her arm. Then help me find what she hides. She blinked. You're serious? Completely. We didn't have to wait long. Clara left her purse on the sofa when she went to shower. Emily's eyes widened. Mom, her phone. I hesitated, then nodded. Quickly. Emily unlocked it with Clara's careless code, her birth year. Messages filled the screen. One thread saved under L caught my eye. Emily gasped. Read it. I did. Clara had written, Daniel bought me another bag. Idiot thinks it's love. Once the account clears, I'm gone. My blood ran cold. Emily whispered, she's planning to leave him. I scrolled further. Sell the watch, sell the gold. He'll never know. I'll meet you in Paris. I covered my mouth. James's watch. Emily grabbed my wrist. This is it, Mom. Proof. Send it to yourself. My hands shook as I forwarded the messages. Then I slipped the phone back just as Clara's footsteps sounded in the hall. She strolled in, smiling. Coffee smells lovely. Who's ready for a beautiful day? Emily muttered, you'll choke on it one day. Clara laughed lightly. Oh, Emily. Such poison in your tongue. I forced a calm tone. Sit, Clara. Join us. She sat, crossing her legs elegantly. Daniel mentioned you're planning a family trip. How sweet. I stared at her. Clara, do you love my son? Her smile didn't falter. Of course. Why ask? Emily snapped. Because your texts say otherwise. Clara froze, then quickly laughed. Texts? What nonsense now? Emily leaned forward. Don't play. We saw them. Paris. Selling jewelry. Calling Daniel an idiot. Clara's eyes flashed, but she recovered. You snooped? How vile. I said softly, deny it all you want. The words are saved. Her voice sharpened. No one will believe you. Daniel trusts me. Emily spat. Not for long. At that moment Daniel walked in, adjusting his tie. Not for long what? Emily jumped. Nothing. Clara stood, wrapping her arms around him. Darling, they're upset again. They think I don't love you. He sighed. Not this again. Emily blurted, check her phone, Daniel. She's cheating you, using you. His face darkened. Emily. I interrupted. Daniel, listen. We found messages. Proof. He turned to me, pain in his eyes. Mom, please. Not you too. Clara pressed her head against his shoulder. They're cruel. They want to break us apart. I whispered, James's watch. She sold it. She bragged about it. Daniel's whole body stiffened. What did you say? Clara quickly kissed his cheek. Lies, darling. All lies. Emily pulled out her phone. I forwarded the messages. Read them. Daniel looked torn, staring between us. Slowly, he took Emily's phone. His eyes moved across the screen. His breathing grew harsh. Clara, what is this? Clara laughed nervously. Jokes. Silly jokes with a friend. Don't be ridiculous. Emily shouted. Jokes? You called him an idiot. You said you'd leave once the account cleared. Daniel's voice cracked. Answer me, Clara. Her mask slipped. For the first time, anger twisted her face. Fine. Yes, I said it. But do you know why? Because your family suffocates me. Always judging, always watching. I needed someone to vent to. Daniel staggered back. To vent? About selling my father's watch? She bit her lip, then sneered. It was just a watch. Silence dropped like a stone. I whispered, it was his soul. Emily whispered, monster. Daniel's hands trembled. Tell me it's not true. Please. Clara's eyes darted. I needed money for us. For love. Isn't that what matters? Emily burst out laughing, bitter and broken. Love? You don't even know the word. Daniel dropped the phone on the table. I need air. He stumbled out the door. Clara spun on us, fury blazing. You ruined everything. Emily stood tall. No, Clara. You did. Clara hissed. He'll forgive me. He always does. I whispered, not this time. She narrowed her eyes. Watch me. Then she stormed upstairs, heels striking like hammers. Emily sagged against me. Mom, did we just destroy him? I held her close. No. We freed him. Now he must choose. Daniel didn't come home that night. Emily and I sat in silence, both waiting for the sound of his car. Hours passed. By morning I found him in the backyard, sitting on the cold stone bench, staring at nothing. His face looked hollow, drained. I whispered, Daniel. He didn't look at me. How long have you known? I swallowed. I suspected. I only saw proof yesterday. His hands tightened. She said it was just venting. Just words. Emily came out, arms folded. She lied. Don't tell me you're buying her excuses. Daniel flinched. Emily, not now. She shook her head. When then? When she empties your account. When she leaves you standing in Paris alone. He groaned. Stop. I sat beside him. Daniel, you have to face this. He betrayed you. She sold the one thing that mattered most to me, and she mocked you while doing it. His voice cracked. I loved her. Emily muttered. She never loved you. He turned on her, eyes wild. Don't say that. Emily's chin trembled. Then open your eyes. Silence stretched. Finally, Daniel whispered, I don't know what to do. I said softly, decide what you can live with. Lies or truth. Before he could answer, the back door slammed. Clara appeared, perfectly dressed as always, holding 2 coffee mugs. There you are, darling. I thought you'd run off forever. Emily sneered. He should. Clara's smile was tight. Still bitter, Emily? No surprise. She handed Daniel a mug. Drink. You'll feel better. He stared at it like poison. Why, Clara? Why say those things? Why sell the watch? Her eyes hardened. Because I needed more than this suffocating life. Because your mother will never approve of me and your sister will never shut up. Because I deserved more. Emily gasped. You deserved more than loyalty? Than love. Clara snapped. Love doesn't pay bills. Daniel whispered. But betrayal does? Clara sighed. You're overreacting. We can move on from this. Emily barked a laugh. Move on. After she called you an idiot. Clara's eyes narrowed. He is sometimes too trusting. Daniel's face went pale. So you admit it. She reached for his hand. I admit nothing worth losing us over. Don't throw away our marriage because of some messages. He pulled his hand back. They weren't just messages. They were knives. Her smile faltered. Daniel, darling. He stood. Stop calling me that. Emily whispered. Finally. Claire spun to me. This is your fault. You've turned him against me. I shook my head. You did that yourself. Her voice rose. You never wanted me here. From the beginning you plotted this. Daniel's voice thundered. Enough. This isn't about them. This is about you and me. She glared at him. Then choose. Them or me. The air froze. Emily held her breath. My heart stopped. Daniel whispered, "Don't make me answer that." She stepped closer, eyes blazing. "Answer me, Daniel." He looked at her, really looked as though seeing her for the first time. Then he said quietly, "Them." Her face twisted with rage. "You'll regret this." Emily snapped, "No, you will." Clara's voice dripped venom. "You think he'll survive without me? He's weak. Always has been. That's why I chose him. Easy to control." Daniel's fists clenched. "Stop." But she didn't. "You'll come crawling back. You need me more than I need you." Emily lunged. "I'll shut your mouth." I grabbed her arm. "No. She's not worth prison." Clara smirked. "Listen to your saintly mother, Emily. She hides her hatred behind calm words. At least I'm honest." I whispered, "Honesty without shame is cruelty." Clara rolled her eyes. "Save your proverbs. Daniel will beg before the week ends." Daniel shouted, "Get out." Her head snapped toward him. "What?" His voice shook, but it was steady. "Pack your things. Get out of my house." Emily gasped. I stayed still watching. Clara laughed coldly. "You don't mean that." He stepped closer. "I mean every word." Her jaw tightened. "You'll regret it." "I already do," he whispered. For the first time her mask cracked. She stared at him, breathing hard, then turned on her heel. Her heels struck the stone path as she stormed inside. Emily whispered, "He did it." Daniel collapsed onto the bench, head in his hands. "God, what have I done?" I touched his shoulder. "You chose truth." He sobbed. "I don't know how to live without her." Emily crouched beside him. "You'll learn. We'll help you." He whispered, "I loved her. Even now. I still do." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "That's the worst part. Loving someone who destroys you." We sat in silence until Clara returned, dragging 2 suitcases. She stopped in the doorway, eyes burning. "This isn't over," she spat. "You'll see me again. And when you do, you'll wish you'd never listened to them." Daniel stood slowly. "Goodbye, Clara." Her lips curled. "Coward." She yanked the door open and stormed out. The slam echoed like a gunshot. Emily exhaled shakily. "She's gone." Daniel sank back onto the bench. "She'll come back. They always come back." I whispered, "Not if you lock the door." He buried his face in his hands again. "I'm broken, Mom." I wrapped my arms around him. "No. You're free. Brokenness heals. Lies don't." Emily leaned against us both, trembling. "It's over." But as I held my children close, I knew it wasn't truly over. Clara's words still rang in the air. "This isn't over." And in my heart I believed her. The house felt lighter after Clara left, but silence carried a sharp edge. Daniel drifted like a ghost, working long hours, eating little. Emily stayed close to me, watching him with worried eyes. I knew Clara wasn't finished. She had threatened us, and women like her didn't disappear quietly. It didn't take long. 3 weeks later, Daniel walked into the kitchen with a letter in his trembling hand. "She's suing me," he whispered. Emily snatched the paper. "Alimony? Assets? She wants half." Daniel nodded miserably. "Half of everything. Says I abandoned her." Emily exploded. "She abandoned you." I took the letter gently. "Calm down. Anger won't win this battle. Truth will." Daniel muttered, "Truth didn't stop her lies before." I looked him in the eye. "But now we have proof. Her messages. Her betrayal." Emily nodded fiercely. "Let her try. We'll destroy her in court." The day of the hearing came. Clara swept in with her lawyer, dressed in a sleek black suit, her face painted with calm confidence. He spotted us and smirked. "Well, well. The broken little family. Ready to lose." Emily hissed, "You're disgusting." Clara leaned close. "Watch me take everything he has. Then you'll see who wins." Daniel looked sick. "Why, Clara? Haven't you done enough?" She whispered, "Not until you beg." I touched his arm. "Don't respond. Let her choke on her arrogance." When the session began, Clara's lawyer painted her as a devoted wife abandoned without warning. Clara nodded along, even dabbing fake tears. Emily muttered under her breath, "Oscar-worthy." Then it was our turn. Daniel's lawyer pulled out the printed messages. The courtroom shifted when the words were read aloud. "Daniel bought me another bag. Idiot thinks it's love. Once the account clears, I'm gone." Gasps rippled through the room. Clara's mask flickered. Emily smirked. Checkmate. But Clara quickly recovered. "Those are fabricated lies created by a bitter sister and controlling mother-in-law." Her lawyer nodded. "No proof these weren't doctored." Daniel finally spoke, his voice raw. "They came from your phone, Clara. I saw them with my own eyes." Clara sneered. "You saw what they wanted you to see." Emily jumped up. "Liar." The judge banged the gavel. "Order." Our lawyer calmly produced the forwarding log, showing the messages had been sent directly from Clara's phone to Emily's number. Silence fell heavy. Clara's face drained of color. The judge leaned forward. "Mrs. Morgan, how do you explain this?" Clara stammered. It was jokes, private jokes." Daniel whispered hoarsely, "Jokes about selling my father's watch?" She snapped. "It was just a watch." Gasps again. I whispered, "And there it is." Emily muttered. She buried herself. The judge's tone was sharp. "This does not look like a wife seeking fairness. It looks like exploitation." Clara's eyes darted, desperate. "No. He abused me emotionally." "He." Daniel's voice cut her off, quiet but firm. "Enough, Clara." She froze. "I gave you everything," he said. "My money, my trust, my heart. And you sold it for handbags and flights. You don't deserve another cent." Clara's lips trembled, but anger quickly replaced it. "You'll regret humiliating me." Emily shot back. "The only one humiliated is you." The judge ruled swiftly. Clara would receive nothing. Not a dime. Her scream echoed in the courtroom. "No. This isn't justice. This is a conspiracy." Security approached as she thrashed, but she yanked free, pointing at me. You poisoned him against me." I held her gaze. "You poisoned yourself." They escorted her out, her curses filling the hall. Daniel collapsed into the bench, trembling. Emily hugged him tightly. "It's over. She's finished." I touched his hand. "The storm has passed." But Daniel shook his head. "Storms always return." Weeks later we heard whispers. Clara had been cut off by her parents. Her friends avoided her. The luxury she flaunted was gone. One evening Daniel came home pale. "I saw her today." Emily stiffened. "Where?" "Outside the bank." She looked different. No makeup. Same dress as last month. She begged me for help. Emily spat. "You didn't, right?" He hesitated. I gave her nothing. I walked away. I exhaled in relief. "That's strength, Daniel." He rubbed his face. "She said I ruined her. That she had nowhere to go." Emily muttered. "Good. Let her feel what she made you feel." But I saw the pain in his eyes. "Daniel," I said gently, "her downfall isn't your burden. She chose this path." He whispered, "Why do I still pity her?" Emily snapped, "Because you're better than her. That's why she never deserved you." He looked at me. "Mom, do you think I'll ever stop loving her?" I held his trembling hands. "One day. When you learn to love yourself more." Emily nodded fiercely. "We'll make sure of it." That night, as the house finally settled, I stared out the window. The street was quiet, but I couldn't shake Clara's final words in the courtroom. "You'll regret humiliating me." Her downfall had begun, yes. But I knew Clara too well. People like her didn't vanish, they waited. And somewhere in the shadows I felt her still watching us. The days after the court ruling felt strange. Quiet. Too quiet. Clara's absence should have brought peace, but instead there was a hollow space in every room. Daniel moved through the house like a man half alive, and Emily simmered with restless anger. One morning I found Daniel at the dining table staring at a cup of cold coffee. "Daniel," I said softly, "you haven't slept." He didn't look up. I hear her voice everywhere. Even when it's silent. Emily stormed in. "That's because you're still thinking about her. She doesn't deserve it." Daniel rubbed his eyes. "I can't turn it off." Emily slammed her hand on the table. "Then try harder." She ruined us, Daniel. She ruined you. Stop, I said. Yelling won't heal him. Emily shot me a look. Then what will? He keeps holding on to her ghost. Daniel whispered, she's not dead. Emily spat, might as well be. His voice broke. Don't say that. Emily threw up her hands. Unbelievable. After everything you still defend her. I placed my hand on hers. Emily, he's grieving. Betrayal is still loss. She blinked. Loss of what? Lies. Manipulation. Daniel snapped. Loss of love. Emily froze. He buried his face in his hands. I loved her, even if she didn't love me back. That doesn't just vanish. Emily's eyes softened, but her voice stayed sharp. Then you'll keep hurting until you let her go. He whispered, I don't know how. I said gently, one day at a time. Don't fight the pain. Walk through it. Emily muttered, he's been walking through it for months. When does it end? I sighed. When he chooses. That evening Emily sat with me on the porch. He'll never heal if he keeps clinging to her, she said bitterly. I looked at her. Why does his pain make you so angry? She hesitated. Because I hate seeing him weak. He used to be my big brother. My protector. Now he's broken. I whispered, that's what betrayal does. It cuts deeper than knives. She folded her arms. Then he should be cutting her out, not himself. I studied her face. And you? How are you holding up? Her voice cracked. I dream of Dad's watch. I see Clara selling it over and over. I can't stop picturing it. I reached for her hand. It was just an object, Emily. She shook her head violently. No, it was Dad. It was us. She stole more than gold. She stole memory. Tears filled my eyes. I know. Weeks turned into months. Slowly Daniel began to change. One morning he appeared freshly shaved, dressed for work with purpose. Emily blinked. Whoa, you look human again. He managed a small smile. I decided to stop letting her live in my head. I touched his shoulder. That's strength. But Emily still frowned. What if she comes back? Daniel's eyes hardened. Then I'll tell her I've moved on. Emily muttered, I'll tell her worse. He shook his head. No, I don't want revenge anymore. I just want peace. For the first time in months I believed him. One evening as we ate together the doorbell rang. Emily jumped. If that's her. I opened the door. It wasn't Clara. It was the pawn shop owner, Mr. Patel, holding a small velvet box. He bowed slightly. I thought you should have this back. Someone returned it anonymously. My hands trembled as I opened the box. Inside lay James's Rolex. Emily gasped. Dad's watch. Daniel whispered, but how? Mr. Patel shrugged. No name. Just a package on my counter this morning. Emily muttered, it was her. It had to be. Daniel whispered, maybe she finally felt guilt. Emily scoffed. Clara? Guilt. I held the watch against my chest, tears blurring my eyes. Whatever the reason, it's home now. Daniel smiled faintly. Maybe that's our closure. Emily frowned. Or her last trick. I whispered, no. This feels real. Later that night, Daniel sat beside me on the couch. Mom, he said quietly, do you think I'll ever trust again? I looked at the watch glinting softly in my hand. Yes. But not easily. And maybe that's good. Trust should be earned, not given blindly. He nodded. I want to believe that. Emily joined us, curling into the chair. Maybe we'll never forget her, but we'll survive her. I smiled at both of them. Yes. We will. The house felt whole again, even with scars. But as I placed the watch back into its box, I couldn't stop a single thought from echoing. Why would Clara return it? And deep down I feared it wasn't kindness. It was a warning. I sat in the garden with the Rolex in my hand, watching the sun set. Its golden light felt warmer than it had in years. Emily joined me, dropping into the chair beside mine. You still stare at it like it's magic, she said. I smiled faintly. It is. It's James. A piece of him returned to me. She crossed her arms. Or bait. Don't forget who we're dealing with. I looked at her. Do you really think Clara has that much power left? Emily hesitated. She always finds a way back. Daniel stepped onto the porch. dressed in his work clothes, face brighter than before. Not anymore, he said firmly. Emily snorted. Easy for you to say now. 2 weeks ago you couldn't get out of bed. He sighed. And 2 weeks ago I was still her prisoner. I'm done. Emily raised an eyebrow. Done how? He met her gaze. I don't care where she is, who she's with, or what she's planning. She doesn't exist to me anymore. Emily muttered. That's not closure. That's pretending. I interrupted. It is closure, Emily. Choosing not to chase ghosts. Emily frowned, but her voice softened. Maybe. Later that night, the three of us sat at the dinner table. Silence stretched until Daniel cleared his throat. Mom, he said, do you remember Dad's words before he died? I closed my eyes, heart aching. He told me, take care of them. Keep them together. Daniel nodded. I think he knew something like this would happen. Emily whispered, then why leave us her? Why let Clara into our lives? I sighed. Because love makes us blind. Your father wanted you to be happy. He couldn't predict betrayal. Emily's fork clattered on her plate. I hate her. Daniel looked at her. And I don't. Not anymore. I just pity her. Emily stared. Pity? After everything? He leaned forward. Yes. Because she'll live every day knowing what she lost. That's punishment enough. Emily shook her head. You're stronger than me, Daniel. He smiled sadly. No. Just tired of bleeding. The next morning a letter arrived. No return address. My hands shook as I opened it. Clara's handwriting filled the page. I returned the watch because I couldn't carry the weight anymore. Don't think of it as guilt. It's survival. I know you hate me, but maybe one day you'll understand why I did what I did. Tell Daniel I loved him even if I didn't know how to show it. Emily snatched the paper from my hands. Lies. All of it. Daniel read silently, then folded it neatly. It doesn't matter. Emily hissed. Of course it matters. She's trying to crawl back in. Daniel set the letter on the table. No. She's trying to crawl out of her own mess. Let her. I whispered. Are you sure? He nodded. Yes. This is the last thing she'll ever send me. And I'm fine with that. That evening we buried the letter beneath the oak tree in the yard. Emily lit a match, letting the edges burn before the soil swallowed the ashes. Good riddance, she muttered. Daniel whispered, goodbye. I whispered, The wind rustled the leaves as if the tree itself sighed with relief. Weeks later life began to steady. Emily returned to college, her sharp edges softening. Daniel poured himself into work, finding purpose again. One night as I closed the watch box and set it gently on my dresser, Daniel appeared at the door. Mom, he said quietly, do you think Dad would be proud? I walked over, cupping his face. He already is. You survived the fire and didn't let it consume you. He smiled faintly. And you held us together. Tears filled my eyes. That was my promise. Months passed. Clara never returned, never called, never wrote again. Maybe she found another family to fool. Maybe she finally faced her emptiness. I stopped wondering. One morning I walked into the kitchen to find Daniel and Emily laughing together over burnt toast. For the first time in years, the sound filled the house with warmth instead of tension. I leaned against the doorway, smiling. You two sound human again. Emily grinned. Don't get used to it. He still annoys me. Daniel smirked. She still bosses me around. I laughed, the heaviness in my chest lifting. That night, alone in my room, I held the Rolex one last time before placing it into the safe. I whispered to James, we survived, love. They tried to tear us apart, but we're still standing. In the silence, I felt him near, not in the watch but in the laughter downstairs, in the strength of our bond, in the lessons betrayal carved into us. I exhaled long and deep, releasing the last of my bitterness. This wasn't just closure. It was freedom.